All right, the reason we are going through this presentation is because so many people have trouble with vision, including myself. 6 years of life in there, and I have had the enigma of the vision is once you write this present ideal vision out, this ideal world you want to live in. I'm currently doing all these things. You write it in present tense. I've seen from a lot of groups that have been in that the tough piece is, this is great, I believe in this, how do I get there? And I believe the missing piece that we've had all these years is the how to get there. Now, Life in Air has what's called waypoints, but waypoints never resonated with me. And it's just the word waypoints. But no one was there to ever help us develop the waypoints. Now, was that our fault? I don't know. But as I kept going through this, I had to believe, with all the reading I do, there's got to be a way to facilitate a process to manifest and deliver the vision.
Close the gap.
Close that gap. So that's what this presentation is a culmination of tons and tons of books, and I do a lot of thinking and meditating type things and thinking of how can we deliver the vision to people in a more systematic, easy to comprehend, fun way. So the common roadblocks have been no written clear vision and an unclear why. And it's the why that made this so powerful for me, because you can have this vision, but if you don't know really why you have the vision, it's tough to achieve. And I'm going to show you as we go through this presentation how to let the vision identify your why. And once you have your why, you can make your vision come to reality. The other thing that we've seen a roadblock is trying to fit our lives around a job or business. Now, some of this stuff we've heard before, but I'm going to reiterate it on purpose and then add to it. And so when you're fitting your life around your job, you're also living someone else's vision, not your own. But one thing that came to an epiphany the other day with all the reading is we have poor lead and lag measures. And then a lack of accountability. Well, it's been difficult to figure out what to hold people accountable to when there's not a system to get them from where they are now to the vision they have. Well, it's not the lag measure, but it is. I guess the vision's your scorecard, your lag measure. But we need to be held accountable, but where do you hold people accountable to? And I never could find the tool to hold people accountable to until I figured out what lead measures really are. And we're going to get and explain in detail in this presentation what lead measures are. So let's go to the why. The why is the heartbeat. That is why did you write your vision? You wrote your vision and you've got this ideal life. Why do you want to have that ideal life? Well, you've got to really know your why, and once you have a deep-rooted why in you, you will do the lead measures to get you to your vision, which is your lag measure. And all this will come clear. So, after you know your why, the how are the actions we take to realize our belief. Well, the lead measures, which we're going to get into, are going to show you how to achieve your vision. The what are the lag measures, your actual vision, are the results of these lead measures, the how. And so this golden circle is in a book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. He's a TED Talk speaker, and it's an amazing book. And so I thought, well, let's overwrap the vision, the Life in Air vision, over the famous golden circle. The golden circle is something that's been around for ages, and Simon Sinek did a really good job of turning the golden circle into explaining the why. And then you wrap the Life in Air vision around that, and we're going to show how this all interrelates and how it can be more clear. But with a clear sense of why, we're less prone to giving up after a failure because we understand the higher cause. I think a lot of times people write their vision, and then they look at where they are now, and they sort of give up because they don't really understand their why. And I know if you had asked me a year ago and before, what is my why? I could have told you what my vision was, but I couldn't have explained what my why was. And it's very important to understand what your why is so that you can have your vision. So let's go back to Robert Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants that we've all seen, and they didn't really mean a lot to me when I first read them and understood them. So a lot of the things that I'm going to explain in this presentation is how Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants, all of a sudden when I understood my why, these quadrants meant a lot more. So if you look over here, 95% of the population is either an employee or self-employed. And only 5% of the population is a true business owner. So when we first got into real estate, I thought we were business owners because I didn't understand the difference between an S and a B. And what happens is almost every one of us either were lucky enough to start it off as an entrepreneur, and very few of us did. Most of us started off in some sort of a W-2 type of job, and then we found ourselves as entrepreneurs. But when we found ourselves as entrepreneurs, we were really self-employed, and then we got really busy with our jobs, and they got massively complex, and we realized all we did was leave a W-2 job to go have our own job, and we're still having to do all the work. And then you go, well, I don't really want to do all this work anymore. I don't want to take phone calls. I don't want to do the physical mailers and mailings and take the phone calls and then talk to the tenant buyers and then screen the tenant buyers and screen the cash buyers and all that. But once you're there and you're deep into your business, it's almost impossible without doing an intense process and value mapping to get people out of the S and into the B. So any of those of you have seen Chuck and Jason do the value mapping where they take someone's business and put your revenue center up, and then once you have your revenue center up, you come up with all the processes that help you make that revenue, and then you take each one of those processes and break it down into a quadrillion steps, and then when you look at those quadrillion steps, you go and circle the things you don't like, and then when you find the things that you don't like, you have to either outsource them or make them automatic and systematized. Well, that's an awful, huge task that people have been coming to us for years and saying, well, Keith and Shannon, why don't you do the value mapping thing that Chuck and Jason are doing and turn your S real estate business into a B business? And then I realized I wasn't following my passions. Real estate's not my passion, so that's part of this presentation too, and this whole why thing is I never wanted to put the effort into this process and value mapping to figure out what to outsource, what VAs to hire, what to automate, so I could get myself from S to B, and there's no guarantee that when I go through all that, I'm actually going to leave the S and the B. Maybe I'll get some things outsourced. But we've realized there's a way to make money and start off in the B side, or you may have to start in the S for a while, but you have a B in plan. And if you have a B in plan when you start your S business, you can fully automate the thing and get out of it and leave the S world to go to the B world. And so for you who are just now seeing this, that's why we ended today with the sales funnel stuff of how to pick parts of a business out before you create this massive business and go, what part of this business ahead of time can be outsourced and automated so that I never get caught in the S trap. So the first step to success in a life vision is what would your ideal look like if you did not have to worry about money? And that's very important because we all start thinking about the things we have to do and the money we need to make, and it's really next to impossible to write your vision out if you're worried about money. And the only way to truly find out your why and to find out your passions that we're about to get into is to develop your vision without money in mind, but that never really resonated with me until I discovered what we're about to get into and why this all pulls together and makes sense. So everyone can achieve vision living. Mike Neubauer, who is a student of ours in this group, coined that term, and I think it's brilliant. Vision living is living like a life in air, but vision living resonates with me better. So as you're going through and reading and stuff and working on your vision, there's not one right way or wrong way, but what resonates with you? What starts making sense? And when I was in college, I always made straight A's, but when I got to insurance, I couldn't stand it, and I still made an A in insurance because I knew how to take tests. But insurance, always my mind just glazed over. I don't like the word insurance, and I don't want to know anything about insurance, and I'm starting to used to be in insurance. But there's other words and things that just kind of, waypoints is kind of similar. Waypoints didn't resonate with me, so I never could really understand what a waypoint is. So the steps for fulfilling your vision and having a successful business is, number one, this is the way what resonates with me, is to write out your vision. It must be written. And then clearly identify and define your why, which we're about to show you. How do you find your why? Then let your vision clarify your why. Identify your skills and find your passions. And then let your why drive you to achieve your vision. Now, this might be a little flip-flop from what we've heard from the coach teachings in this Life in Our Business, but it's what resonates with you. Again, there's no right or wrong way. And the money will follow your skills, passion, why, and vision, because when you pull all those things into place, it can't help but follow. And believe and know that you can have vision living. What you want to do is create a vision that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. And until you have that vision that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning, your why is not strong enough. So if your why is not strong enough, you're going to wake up and go, well, I guess I got to go achieve my vision today, but you're not excited to do it until the why. And remember how to heartbeat in that triangle with all the circles? The why is the heartbeat. The vision is the scorecard and the outcome. So we've all seen these before, the elements of a vision. Needs, wants, spiritual, family, friends, no regrets, charitable, health, personal gratification, hobbies, and business. Knowing exactly the life you desire and deciding to start having it that way now will drive your why. So what we're about to go into now is creating the vision, but identifying the why piece. The only way to do that is to take those vision elements, which are the pieces of your vision, and to plot them on a weekly calendar. But what I suggest, instead of getting specific with these color code each piece of your vision. Those elements, give each one a color. And then take those colors off of your vision, the category only. Not a specific thing like work on real estate. But put business up there for right now. We're going to come back and make this detailed, but for this whole process to work, color code your vision, take those colors and put the color blocks, the vision elements they're called, onto your calendar where you want them every day if you didn't have to worry about money. Because if you worry about money, you won't be filling this out right. You'll be sticking it in where you think I need to be working. So you don't need to work because Keith and Shannon are writing you a check each month to cover all your needs so that you can clearly put your element categories on here. What's left is the time you have to work. Do you believe that you can build a business in what you've left yourself? Absolutely, if you do this process right. So most people are going to have 20 to 30 hours left in a week that they have freed up for work. Now, I don't think any of us ever want to stop working. Working can be a joy. But don't you want to work on what your skill sets are, what your passion is, what's in a B quadrant, what doesn't involve all your time and effort? And so now we know part of your why is, well, I do want to have family time. I do want to go to church. I want to have dinner with my family. I want to have date night. I want to go to the gym and exercise. And this starts becoming your why. And now your heart's starting to beat and go, I only want to work less than 24 hours a week because of all these whys. These are my whys, my family, my hobbies, the things I love to do. So you come up with a list of things you want this ideal job to look like. You've got less than 24 hours left in the week to work. What are the qualities of that job? What are the components of that job? I love network marketing, and I think Eric Worre has done a fantastic job of going out and researching hundreds of thousands of people and said, if you didn't have to worry about money, he's asked that question, if you didn't have to worry about money and you could do anything you want, but you worked, what would that job look like? And I resonate with every one of these. No boss, no commute, no alarm clock, no employees, no politics, no compromises, no discrimination, no educational requirements. Something positive, great product or service, unlimited income, residual income, enjoy the people you work with, time freedom, something meaningful, personal growth, lots of perks, expanding market, international contribution to worthy causes, low risk, economy-proof, tax benefits, and fun. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could develop a business that met all those qualities or some of those qualities that resonate with you? Well, one of the things that I kind of am contrary to what some of the Life in Air teachings are, and I'm not bashing Life in Air, I'm just saying what resonates with me. I want unlimited income. I want $1 million. A lot of times we're taught, let's reduce debt way down so that we don't have many needs that we have to cover, and then let's live off this little bit of money here, and we can be happy and do a lot. Well, you can do a lot with $50,000 if you have no debt, but think of what you can do if you have $1 million in no debt, or $10 million in no debt. So why set a limit on yourself? Why don't realize there's an abundance in this world? There's no limitations. You can have anything you want, and if you believe there's an abundant amount of money, you can have it. And yeah, if you only make $50,000 and you have zero debt, how much can you give to charities and build animal farms and things and sanctuaries to save tigers and give to AIDS and give to all these things? Well, you need millions of dollars if you really want to make an impact to these people. So let's don't limit ourselves on how much we can make. So how do you design a business for vision living? Getting a little bit more detailed into this. You've got to have a business that has clients that wants, you got to have top clients, people that want what you got. You've got to have a unique offering, and you've got to have systemization. Getting back to Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants, we're all stuck in the S quadrant because what do we have to do to get from S to B? We have to do this value and time mapping thing all over the wall and figure out all the things we don't want. It's the systemization piece that takes us to the B side and allows you to leave on a 4-week vacation and keep working without you. So if you have top clients and a unique offering, but you're not systematized, you're just swapping dollars for hours. If you've got clients and you're systemized, but you don't have a unique offering, you've got price pressure. If you've got a unique offering and systemization, but you don't have anybody that wants it, then no one cares. So this is what you do for a living. Your vocation is the thing that has clients, that's unique, that's systemized. This is Mike Malakowicz, The Pumpkin Plan. If you have not read that book, it's a powerful book, one of the best business books ever, and this is a piece of him. So what I do with all my reading is every book I read, I think, how can I implement something from this book into my life? Well, your vision is your entire life because it has all the elements that you can think of that go into one's life. So every time you read something, think about what resonates for me out of this book and how can I apply that to my vision and make this more fun. So now what? I've got my life vision. I've picked the ideal business. I'm stoked, motivated, and excited, so let's make this work. Getting to Gary Keller, The One Thing, another brilliant book. Keller Williams produces some of the best training in the world. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? You've heard a lot of people talking about the one thing. What's the one thing you should focus on today? What's the one thing you should focus on today that'll get you to your weekly goals, that'll get you to your monthly goals, that'll get you to your end product, which is the lag measure, the scorecard, the vision accomplishment. So take each one of those color-coded vision elements and start plopping each one on here, saying, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary to achieve my spiritual life, my physical health, my personal life, my key relationships, my job, my finances, and my business. So what we're doing, and why this is green, we're going to focus on an example for you to show you how to take each vision element and focus on one thing based on your why, your skill sets, and your passion to help you achieve your vision. Jillian Michaels, she's an exercise person, but she wrote a phenomenal book called How to Build an Exceptional Life by Jillian Michaels, Unlimited. So, I was reading her book and she did this amazing goal pyramid. Well, the goal pyramids are the waypoints. The waypoints are the lead measures. The lead measures are the things that you actually should be focused on because everyone focuses on lag measures, and we're about to get deeper into that. But let's just take this unique thing. So if you take Gary Keller's book, The One Thing, and Jillian Michaels' book, Goal Pyramid, and overlap them, and say, what's the one thing I can do now to meet my daily goals that will help me meet my weekly goals, etc. So let's show you an example of how fun this can be and how much fun this vision process. So again, this is the color that you gave your vision element. Skipping over to the 4 Disciplines of Execution, another incredible book by Sean Covey. By the way, Keller Williams made all their employees read this book. An insightful book from the multi-million-dollar bestseller Sean Covey and the Franklin Covey Organization based on their work. Hundreds of thousands of employees in large companies to unveil the essential disciplines proven to help businesses and individuals realize their most important goals. Well, what's important in that book are a couple of things. Wildly important goals. Focus on the wildly important, what moves the organization forward. That's you and your entities. And minimize focus on the whirlwind, the things that merely keep us going. Lots of our students, whether they're in Life-N-Air or Link Options, our real estate business, are constantly telling me how busy they are. I'm busy, busy, busy. I get up and I do all these things and I do all these things and I do all these things, but they're in the whirlwind. Are they truly focused on the one thing that by doing it, nothing else matters? Are they focused on the wildly important things? So there's an overlap here between the one thing. So I'm trying to pull, you can see common themes in books, but it's fun to pull them together. And so some terms will resonate with other people than others. So what exactly is a lead indicator versus a lag indicator? Because when you go back to Jillian Michaels' goal pyramid, at the bottom are your daily things. The daily things are the things that you can tell your coach, these are the 3 things I said I was going to do this week to help on these days to help me meet my weekly goals, to help me meet my monthly goals. And those are the things we can hold you accountable to. If you're focused on the outcome, how many houses did I wholesale? I wanted to wholesale 4 houses this month, but I only wholesaled 1 or didn't wholesale any. Help me. Well, what are your lead measures? What marketing did you do? What are the things down here that you can actually control? Because once you are saying how many houses I flipped, that's the lag measure, that's the scorecard. The only way to impact the scorecard is to impact the lead measures that produce the scorecard. So leading indicators predict goal achievement. You can influence them, but can be more difficult to measure because they're little steps. Yeah, you can make X number of phone calls, but X number of phone calls is not a measure of anything. I made 5 phone calls versus 500 phone calls, and we're going to show you how that produces a scorecard. Lagging indicators measure goal accomplishment. Easy to measure, but hard to influence. The only way to influence the lag measure is to play with your lead measures. And if you just Google, this is just another definition of lead and lag measures so that you can understand them. Now let's take this from a sales funnel standpoint. Working with a sales funnel to reach your business goals. Flip the pyramid upside down, and we just saw from the sales funnel that how many dials did you make to get connects with people on the phone, to make new contacts, to convert them to actually get an appointment. So these things right here are your lead measures. The appointment set is your scorecard, your lag measure. So these are the things we need to be holding you accountable for. How many dials did you make? How many did you connect with? How many did you convert on the phone? That's the only way we know what your outcome is going to be, the scorecard, the lag measure. So let's take an example. We said we were going to take my business as an example, whatever your business is. This one is for network marketing for our H9. It's just an example, to give you guys an example. I'm going to learn the back office and join Facebook groups and make a list of 100 names. Those are things that when we talk to you, did you make your list of 100 names? Did you join the Facebook group? These are the lead measures, daily goals. Well, what's the one thing I can do that's going to affect immediately, that's going to affect my daily goals? Well, I can send a video to 3 people a day. That helps me meet my weekly goals. Listen to Monday night calls, give H9 out, and do 3-way calls. You can't do a 3-way call unless you sent the video and handed the water out. So these things start stacking. These are all lead measures. The monthly goal is close new partners and train them to repeat the process. That's more of a lag measure. It's a scorecard. The scorecard is impacted by the lead measures. The vision at the top here is have a duplicated business that provides my monetary needs and live your vision. So that is the ultimate scorecard. Jillian Michaels did an example. So in your elements, in your vision elements, you should make a goal pyramid for every element. And what we want you to do is pick the element that's most important to you right now. It could be spiritual, it could be family, it could be business. And do a goal pyramid like we just went through and come up with lead measures that we can talk about. Because if you're not getting the results you want at the end of the week and the end of the month, we have to go back down to the immediate goals and the daily goals and adjust them. When we get those adjusted properly, the outcome will be what we need. We flipped 4 houses this month. We wholesaled 4 houses. We signed up 4 new partners. We sold 4 new courses. So it's just kind of cool how she did it for something. Health is one of the vision elements. Well, an immediate goal is buy a calorie counter that I can carry with me, call the other moms at school to see if they can carpool with me so I can squeeze a workout several mornings a week. Look up a few healthy recipes online so I know what healthy groceries to buy for this week's healthy meal preparation, and print out my gym schedule so I have it for Sunday when I plan my weekly workouts. These are your lead measures. These are your daily goals. Monday, hit the gym, reconcile my food journal, and you get the idea. Now you get up to the top of the pyramid where your lag measures are, your outcome. The scale is the scorecard. The scale is the lag measure. You get on the scale and you're supposed to be 110 pounds and you're 210. Well, what did you do down at the bottom of the pyramid? What did you do for your immediate and daily goals, the lead measures that we can talk about? To kind of pull this back together for you guys, this is your vision. This is one of the vision elements. So give it this color and make a pyramid the same color. So this one could be personal gratification. So personal gratification goes from here to here, and then you do your immediate, daily, monthly, weekly, and your outcome. And then these immediate things are what you start replacing the major categories on that calendar with. But to figure out the job and how much time you wanted to work, you had to use basic categories so that you weren't bogged down in the minutia, so that you could determine you want to work less than 24 hours a week, so that you could design the job based on your skill set and your passions that you want to do. And so now you're going to start taking things from here at this level and plotting them on here for your weekly calendar. And it's the same color as it originally was. So is this starting to make sense to some of you, how this could help you achieve your vision through just making it a little more fun and maybe using different terminology and knowing your why? Because your why was you want to do these things so that you can have all that time and ride all these horses and drink all this wine at all these vineyards. And so I'm just trying to tie it all out and make preparing and achieving the vision a lot easier. And this is just some fun thing I found on Facebook that kind of tied it out, and it just serendipitously landed on my time page. But it's another way to look at what your purpose is. Something you love, the world needs it, you're paid for it, and you're great at it. Well, if you love it and you're great at it, that's your passion. If you love it and the world needs it, that's your mission. If the world needs it and you're paid for it, that's your vocation. If you're paid for it and you're great at it, that's your profession. And right in the middle is your purpose. A lot of people worry about what's my purpose. Well, that's your purpose. If all these things are met and you're living your vision, then you're living your purpose, the reason God put you here.